What's up, Irators? Welcome to episode 2 of Irations, the Uplifter. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, this is our weekly live stream. We are here every single Friday at 3:20 to bring you positive news, happy commentary, and give you some of the latest info about what's going on in our world. And gonna just jump right into it. We have a very special guest with us today. This is Colin Blakely. Round of applause. This is our tour manager.
What up, y'all?
For those of you that don't know what the job of a tour manager is, he is basically the most important person in our operation. He makes sure that we get from point A to point B. He books hotels, buses, rental cars, flights, keeps us well fed, well boozed, and he makes sure we're on stage when we're supposed to be. He's in charge of our crew, and he just makes us super happy. So Colin, how you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing well. I'm stoked to be here with you guys. Thanks for having me.
Yes, Colin.
Yeah, Colin. Are you drinking a little cocktail today for happy hour? Yes. So, Colin, you're here today because, jumping right into the news portion, because Micah had a beautiful baby girl on Tuesday. Her name is Hannah Alice Puchel, and she was born Tuesday, April 7th at 10:03, and she was 6 pounds, 14 ounces. Has anybody had a chance to go visit Hannah yet?
No, not yet.
I don't think
it's really possible right now.
Yeah, she's up in Santa Barbara right now, and they're still in the hospital for a couple more days. Yeah.
I think they're trying to go home today, but we haven't heard much yet. So,
well, how's it going, Micah? I know he's out there listening to us right now.
Yeah, Micah, love you guys. Micah.
Congratulations, man. Beautiful baby.
We love you.
Congrats.
So next up with the news is it's our Right Here, Right Now promotion. So we're releasing a brand new single soon, and we want to make a music video. So we've been getting some submissions from last week, but we need to get a few more. So just go ahead and send us a picture. You can check out all the information on irationmusic.com/RHRN, and the deadline for that is April the 19th. So go ahead and check that out. And next on the agenda is we released a message the other day to all the fans, and Adam is going to go ahead and talk about that for us.
Yeah, basically, it was kind of a bummer for all of us, but I'm sure as some of you knew, we had to cancel the tour dates for the spring tour Heat Seekers that were coming up, and we're going to try and make it up. But at this point, yeah, we're not going to be able to make it. As I'm sure most of you guys know, everyone's kind of stuck indoors, and we're going to have to ride this out together. And hopefully everything will clear up and we can be jamming live for you guys soon.
Yeah, I feel like, and also it's hopefully everything's getting rescheduled, right? I mean, it's not necessarily canceled, but it's just kind of put on hold.
Yeah.
We're going to try our best to play every day or every city that's on the list, but there might be a few that schedule-wise it just doesn't work out till next year or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Like we're hoping for the best, but we're taking it day by day. So we'll keep you guys updated as news comes our way. And all the cities are cities we love jamming, so we'll be there.
Very nice. And now we're going to talk a little bit about our merch sale that we have going on. It's called the COASTIN merch sale, 30% off. 30% off. You can go ahead and check all of that stuff out on irationmusic.com. And now it's time for the drop. This is a little competition that we're going to have with each other. Basically, we're all going to change our screen, and then we're going to pick a winner. And whoever the winner is going to have a little special presentation at the end. All right, boys, you ready?
Let's drop it.
Let's do it. Drop it like it's hot.
Wait.
Loading.
Dropping.
Where is it here?
How do I do this? Oh, here we go. Oh my Lord.
Colin. Oh, my Lord.
Colin coming with some self-fire roast. Love it.
Colin, tell us about that fro. When did you have that, and why did you get rid of it?
Gravity just kind of took it down. What goes up must come down. And
love it.
Let's just say gravity kind of just over the years. But hey, I'll get it back out there. We'll get it going again.
Mine is a really cool photo of Colin from a recent ski trip we did to Sugar Bowl Resort up in Lake Tahoe. But I think I was just about to pass by him and he just had a full yard sale face plant into the snow. So as you can see, he's got it all up in his goggles. He's got his beard covered. But yeah, perfect yard sale for snowboarding. We had a really good time that trip.
Holy shit.
What's that pic about? You got to hit the jump with speed, Colin, with speed.
More
right.
speed.
More speed.
Right.
Kason, what's yours right now? What's going on over there?
This was actually yesterday's sunset on the big island of Hawaii, kind of in the way, but
Pretty.
out of the way.
Very Irie.
Yeah, I'm by the coast, so I'm able to go
And
walk
Micah-
out and take a look.
Micah, what do you got there?
You know, when I think of Colin, I just think about, two bros just soaking their feet in the kiddie pool. So
There you go. Nice.
Me and Mr. Rogers just throwing out, huh?
just throwing out hard, quarantine style.
Damn.
Throwing out.
Just throwing and broing.
All right, so let's go ahead and do a little vote right now.
I think, Colin's pretty
Colin
stellar
wins.
there.
I
Colin
think
wins.
Colin's
Solid.
going to take it this week.
Anytime there's a good self roast, you got to give it to him.
Yeah. Very nice.
That's actually my driver's license picture. It kind of looks like a mugshot, but
Yeah, I was going
it's
to say
actually
you
my
can see
driver's
this.
license.
You can see the swirls from like the ID card on there.
Yeah.
How old were you in that picture?
Oh man, college. That's what happens when you go to college, kids.
Wow.
Let yourself go.
Now
and you
it's
start
just
working for a reggae band.
You got to throw Halo now for the rest of the show right around
Yes, thank you. I'm just reliving it. There it is. Very nice.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Beauty.
Colin, do you want to tell everybody how you met Iration and just a little bit of your background?
I manifested this. Long story short, food and music are my passions. We all went to college together. We had some music classes together. We lived on the same street. We were neighbors. We would do water sports together. We would cook together. We would have jam sessions. I always owned a piano. Throughout college, I had a full piano in my house. So all the boys would come over and we would just jam and burn and cook and cruise. And it kind of just went from there.
Yeah, and not to mention, aside from college, when we used to play the Slow Brew or the Pozo Saloon, we'd always kind of crash at your parents' house. And so hanging with your mom and dad was always something. I know we don't get to San Luis as much as we used to, but growing up, coming through the ranks as a young band, that was always a good stop off on tours.
Yeah, they loved having you guys. There's still to this day talk about all the sleepovers that we've had and cooking breakfast for you guys, and they loved it. So,
and just a little insight for people listening. So one thing Colin kind of organizes is everyone's little items that we like to get on tour. So do you want to share a few items that get shopped daily that you can think of as individuals that you kind of know everyone likes?
Yes, indeed. Let's start with beverage. Vodka, tequila, whiskey, wine. Those are some of the essentials on the drinking end of things. On the food end of things, we've tried to go, some of the boys went more keto over the last couple of years. So we kind of focused on some more keto and vegan. Less dairy, less meat. So we've got a lot of frozen meatless meatballs and frozen fake chicken nuggets. Those are pretty solid staples in the freezer. We keep a big bag of frozen organic fruits and frozen organic spinach. We're making smoothies on the regular with protein powder, maca, cacao, chia, all kinds of good additives like that. Smoked salmon is a pretty regular in the fridge. We're throwing smoked salmon on crackers, on bagels, on sandwiches. And then beyond that, traditional sliced deli meats, cheeses, coffee, and we get local whole roasted coffee. We grind it ourselves. We've always got some unsalted Kerrygold. We've got some MCT oil. We're pretty much all drinking Bulletproofs in the morning. Not all of us, but some of us are. Some of us are purists, just going straight black offs. But
and
those
just
are some of the regulars.
Just to keep you
Does
sharp.
anybody like socks?
Sock gate.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah,
I
let's
was
go
gonna,
over some personal issues that get.
yeah, I was
going
gonna say, Colin, what is the one item Joe D cannot do without?
Joe D is a real big fan of, drum roll please, baby wipes.
That's right.
Baby
They're
wipes.
Don't leave home without them.
Joe uses them on every part of his body, so
It's like an
likes
Amex.
to take care of himself.
You don't leave home without it.
Yeah, he's got his baby wipes.
And
I
then
will
what about
say
the other
once
guys?
once you go flushable wipe, you never want to go back to like not having flushable wipes. So
Yeah,
I'm
crucial.
not going to get into detail. Leave it at that.
Kaysen needs to have some clean socks or a bunch of coffee. He's always needs coffee, but most importantly, what Kaysen needs on the road is ice. There's no ice. Kaysen is not a happy dude. Gotta have the
Kaysen's
ice
not
in the
nice.
case.
I like my beverages cold, man. What can I say?
I mean, how else are you
Mr.
gonna make?
Yeah, how else are you going to make 74 ounces of a beverage if you don't have ice in there, right?
That's right. Man.
Let's
Stay
see.
hydrated.
Adam is a fan of having the tajin, the kind of Mexican flavored salt around, because he whips
Tajin,
together
right?
some good margaritas. Yeah, you
Tajin.
got to have some tajin in there. Let's see. MB always needs some blueberries on hand. Got to have blueberries for
The
MB.
bloobs.
Those are going in smoothies. They're
I'm a
going in all
bloob
kinds of
guy.
stuff. Let's see. Adam occasionally also throws out some fruit snack vibe.
Yeah.
So you got to make sure to have some solid fruit snacks. You know, I used to get way too many chips. We used to be kettle chips, and now everyone's transitioned into like Terra. So we get some veggie chips in there, which is also important. Try to keep it a little healthy if we can. Poosh likes to have some good granola around. Got to have some good granola for Poosh. You know, and some good wine. Everybody kind of likes to have a good glass of wine. I know Drake pretty much needs to have some sort of a sugar-free Gatorade and a gallon of vodka.
every day.
We got to keep those things stocked up.
I will
vodka.
say, going on another tour bus after that last run and being on, like, just without you out there, I felt like a sad, scared, lost little boy, like with nothing but like
What am I
Oreos
going to eat?
and Cheez-Its on the rider.
Yeah, classic. And then to keep the crew happy, besides these guys, nachos. I got to keep bags of shredded cheese around and chips for late night nacho making, because, you know, there's not a full kitchen on a bus. So throwing together some late night nachos at the end of a night is pretty crucial for everybody. And then get the sliced olives, get the pickled jalapenos, get the organic sour cream. You got to have all the toppings, the good salsa, and especially cream cheese. The crew has been deep in bagels, and there's a full-blown mutiny if I don't keep cream cheese in stock for them. So shout out to the Iration crew. We love you guys. Thanks for everything you do. I'll never let you run out of cream cheese, I swear.
And
Thank
Amy's
you.
burritos.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And let us note that nachos are never called nachos on the road. They're simply called cho.
Cho.
A post-show cho.
Post-show
cho.
Yeah, the cho.
Faux cho.
Colin, what would you say is the hardest thing you have to deal with being a tour manager?
Making sure everybody's happy and healthy, and try not to forget about my own needs. I think it's really easy to just take care of everybody else out on the road. I've got that inner Jewish mother that just wants to make sure everybody's good. And a lot of times that means that my needs go last. So just isolating for a minute, going out for a nice meal to try to reground myself is important. But honestly, the challenges of the road are also the joys of the road. I like the challenges. I enjoy being around these guys. We're family. We've been together for over 10 years. We kind of know each other's idiosyncrasies. We know how to push each other's buttons if we want to. So nobody really lets anybody get too out of hand. Everybody kind of puts each other in check. There's some good checks and balances amongst our group. So it's a really great space, and I'm super grateful for everything that we get to do. It's definitely something I don't take for granted. I'm proud of what we've done, and I hope we can continue to keep doing it.
Well said.
We love you, Colin.
Yeah, hell yeah, guys.
Well, let's start sharing some uplifting stories out there in the world. So I'm gonna go first with my story. I live in Los Angeles, which is known to be one of the dirtiest, like, air quality wise in the world. And because everyone is forced to stay at home and there's less flights, LA has some of the cleanest air in the world right now. And I can actually like see the mountains outside. I can see the Hollywood sign. I can breathe better. You can see way further than you normally can. Like I can see mountains with snow on the tops of them, which I didn't even know were there. And it's just really nice that everyone is, staying inside. And I hope that people start not, going out as much, even when they have cars, like start taking more Ubers, start walking, get on your bike. And it's a breath of fresh air, literally. What do you got for us, Adam?
So mine actually comes from Los Angeles too. It's from the LA Times, but it's actually a national story. But basically, shelter and animal rescue organizations nationwide are reporting huge, unprecedented interest in fostering and adopting animals, dogs, cats, and even rabbits, which I thought was really cool. And I think everybody's been inside, so you kind of have time to really give attention to an animal and care for an animal. And what was really the coolest part about the article was that all these people that are just fostering them that might just be thinking, hey, this is a short-term kind of deal, until we get back on our feet. They were reporting that 40% of people that fostered actually ended up keeping the animal. So I thought that was really cool. Most of us are animal lovers or animal owners, and all of us are animal lovers. So I thought that was a bit of uplifting news to see. And I mean, for me, like I have a rescue dog and they're such healers, and it just makes your day a little bit brighter and a little more fun when they're around, especially now that we're kind of on lockdown. So I thought that was really cool.
Nice.
Very nice. Yeah. I'd say most everybody here in this chat has an animal in their home from whether either a shelter or some kind of a foster agency. So everyone get out there and adopt some pets.
Yeah.
Joe, are you going to get a dog? I know Asia's trying to push you for
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, no, we're looking right now. It's
But
kind of hard.
I was gonna say you guys are having some trouble too, right? Because they're getting swooped up really quickly.
They're swooped up, and also this is quarantine, so you can't go check them out, which is another thing. So we're just kind of waiting until everything clears up.
Well, you'll find the right dog. Kason, What do you got for us today, man?
Well, I'm touching again on the subject of sustainability and doing things that we can do to help out the environment. These are solar panel driveways. This company is basically making them out of recycled plastic bottles.
Sick.
And yeah, the plastic they can pretty much make harder than concrete, so you can just drive right over the top of it and make your whole driveway like that. It's
that is cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's something. I mean, when you're thinking towards the future, if you ever get a chance to build your own house, or it's just thinking about
remodel your house.
Yeah, remodeling, whatever. Just thinking about creative ways, and also the fact that there's a lot of opportunity in these sort of new creative things that are helping out the climate and helping out the world. So yeah,
do you know how
I like this?
I was gonna say, do you know how the price compares to like traditional rooftop solar panels, or have you looked into it at all?
It doesn't say in the article, but yeah, again, for me, it's just like thinking about the future and creative ways that you can go about helping out.
Yeah, super cool.
Definitely.
Colin, our guest of honor, what do you have for us?
Mine is like an interesting one. Me and my quarantine mates have been watching some Jeopardy while we've been having our dinners. And there was this woman who was winning. She won a couple rounds. She won a show. She was on again. She was on again. She was a repeat champ. And her vibe was just real small and kind of mousy. And it wasn't getting into her. I wanted to see like a big personality winning Jeopardy and getting super excited and being very vibrant. And she just wasn't doing it for me. And I was kind of like, wow, this woman she doesn't seem to be really like enjoying this. She's not wild and crazy. Maybe she was just a tame personality and that was okay. But I was kind of just confused about a lot of the people on Jeopardy tend to have some funny stories and they're really outgoing. And so, we watched and watched and watched. And then towards the end of her run, one of the buddies that I watched with shot me a link to a news article. And it was a super humbling moment for me. And it kind of like shook me a little bit because this woman, Cindy Stoll, she had stage 4 colon cancer while she was doing this show. She tried out for Jeopardy. She passed the first phase. She told them, look, I'm dying from cancer. Can you expedite me to get me on the show as soon as possible? The producers of the show did. She was on painkillers. She was going through therapy. She was in a really bad place and she was kicking butt at Jeopardy. And so for me in my world to be judging this woman and then learn about her circumstances was super humbling. It kind of put me in check. It made me realize, obviously the lesson here is you don't judge a book by the cover, but she took all of her winnings and donated to cancer research. She didn't even get to see her episodes air because she unfortunately passed away. So R.I.P. Cindy Stoll, like absolute rock star for
legend. Yeah.
Going on the show. She was nauseous in between commercial breaks. She was vomiting, like just in a really bad place. And nobody on the show talked about it. Trebek knew, but didn't want to lead off. So after the last show had aired, he kind of gave her a little shout out. And it wasn't until after all this had happened that the story came out. And so this was back in 2016. It's an older story, but we had just kind of been going through Netflix, watching some of these episodes. And like I said, it was just a really humbling moment for me to realize it was so wrong of me to be assuming that this woman, whatever shape she was in, just wasn't having fun and wasn't doing her thing. And turns out she was fighting like a total champ. She was winning Jeopardy. She donated over $100,000, which was all of her winnings, to cancer research. And then she passed away. So absolute rock star, super encouraging to see that kind of it was really gnarly for me to be judging somebody and then feel like a complete jerk for it. But for her to step up and battle the way that she did, super cool, super encouraging, super empowering. So my takeaway from that is just during this COVID time, we're doing a lot of self-introspection. Let's be kinder to each other. Let's be kinder to ourselves. Let's try not to be so judgmental. Really sobering moment for me to kind of have a little taste of my own medicine and try to learn from that. And so really big perspective shifter for me. So big ups to her and everything that she did. And I'm glad I stumbled across that story and had the opportunity to share it with you because there's a lot of lessons to be learned from it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Scored amazing. Rest in peace, Cindy. Micah, MB, what do you got for us?
So I think one of the things that, at least in our household, that Marina and I are a little bit more interested in is, helping out senior citizens. I know her job is definitely more senior centric. She works for a mortgage company and deals with a lot of seniors that have fixed incomes and figuring out retirement solutions for them. And this story I came across this week, it's pretty cool. You might have heard it already, but Tyler Perry, the actor, he basically adopted like over 60 stores, maybe 70 stores in Atlanta and New Orleans area, and picked up all the tabs for all the seniors that were shopping during like their designated senior hour this Wednesday, and picked up the tabs. So big ups to someone who's got the resources and thought of doing this for some of our elderly community. I thought it was really cool. Once again, we really appreciate the elderly and we try to do what we can here in our community to help them out. So I thought that was a cool story to highlight. Tyler
I read
Perry
that one too. That was
things.
really cool.
Love
so
me
yeah,
some
that was dope.
I would say encourage, it's obviously we can't be physically close to our family members, grandparents, things like that. But if there's a neighbor that, needs a little extra help that you can do from a distance during this time, I would encourage people to reach out to people and be more open to helping folks out like that, in whatever little way you can. It doesn't have to be buying a bunch of people groceries, but helping someone out, carry things into their house or in into their garage or whatever it has to be. But I know it's tough trying to help people out in this time, but there's definitely creative ways you can do it. So
Have any of you guys had a chance to see your parents, whether it's 6 feet apart or anything like that? I know most of you don't live near your parents, but MB, I know you live.
No,
so close.
I haven't seen. Yeah, just because my he's immunocompromised,
Right.
being that he just received a heart transplant almost a year and a half ago now. So we are just being extra careful, and I feel like I'm just gonna have to wait till this all kind of dies down before I get to see him. So unfortunately, but it's better safe than sorry, I feel like.
It's very hard to stay away from your family. All right, Jojo, what do you got, buddy?
Let me unmute. I chose a. Are we doing the quote? Is it a quote? Oh, okay. The video. You can't go wrong with this. You can't go wrong.
It's so happy.
It's just happy dogs. Like, if you don't get pumped on this, I don't know. It's dogs with a wide angle lens.
And they're like their little button, just the boopy noses.
Boop, boop, boop. Where did you find this? Where are these dogs?
Dogs are those.
I don't even know, man. I don't know. Dogs with a wide angle lens. It's amazing.
Yeah,
Just
that's like the
Google
that's the wormhole you'll fall into with like underwater dog shots chasing tennis balls, and they're just like, "Wah!" It's hilarious.
It made me smile.
Can we play the video or no? Does it not play right now?
Zoom seems a little bit buggy today, huh?
It's a little laggy. Everyone out there is zooming hard.
Yeah, Zoom has just become a huge quarantine phenomenon.
It has. All right, well then.
Well, sorry
why don't-
guys, couldn't uplift your day with some dogs.
Well, you
Next.
just everyone can go remember everyone can go to our website, go to our blog, and you can check out all of these links in the comments section of this video as well. And now let's go ahead and take some fan questions. Every week we're going to be answering everyone's questions. You can go ahead and submit these questions via text, or you can give us a call, leave a message. The number that you can call or text is 805-225-6886. So go ahead and submit us those questions, and we'll try to answer those next week. And we have a couple of them that we're going to answer this week. And the first one via text is, what do you guys do if you get sick of each other on tour? I am getting sick of my quarantine team currently.
Let me start. I was going to just say that it's funny. I don't really find that in our group we kind of get to that point that much, and I think you have enough space. Like the times we're really kind of around each other are, right when you get up before sound check. You're pretty focused. Meet and greet, you're focusing on the fans. And then I think after that, everyone does their own thing, like a little bit of exercise, finding food, etc. So, I mean, I don't really find that we get there. If we do, I would say I would probably just retreat to my bunk and just get some personal time. How about you guys?
Yeah, I would agree. I feel like the more you see someone kind of just hanging in their bunk a little extra, is like that's a signal that they just need to be alone. Or like if they go have a solo meal, like because we usually eat a lot of meals together. Like we'll all take 4 or 5 of us or walk to the restaurant together and have lunch or whatever. So it's like you can always have the option to just go do your own solo thing and have your own meal if you just need that me time. And I feel like everybody kind of polices themselves on that and never really gets to the point where we blow up on each other.
Agreed.
Yeah.
It's definitely much easier now that we have 2 buses, because before when there was 12 people, it's like you'd wake up in the morning and it was just like 12 dudes all like trying to get coffee and like use the bathroom and brush their teeth. It was very chaotic, and I think there was a lot more tension with everybody, but now everyone has some space and can stretch.
Yeah.
I'll even go a step further on that, Drake. When we had our van days, we would have a little bit more tension. And one thing that would always bug me is people's sweaty socks or shirts being hung on all around the van, or just trash in the van. So, I mean, we're kind of past it. I think once you actually go through that and then get to the bus, you're more appreciative of what you got.
We still are a little guilty of hanging sweaty socks and shirts in the back lounge sometimes. So.
Yeah.
Thank God for the shoe rack. Shout out
Oh,
Evan
yes.
from Through the Roots.
Shout out Colin with the shoe rack idea.
Yeah. He's muted.
And Evan for making it come to life. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get there. It's, it's potty training, baby steps.
Ooh.
All right. We have another question. This one is just for Colin. It says, why do they call you Squirrel? And what's the best / hardest part about being tour manager?
Well, do you see this beautiful thing around my head? This is part of Big Squirrel. It actually originated in my days with Revolution. I was driving our van through San Francisco on like a late night, early morning. It was really foggy. I had given Marley, who was riding shotgun, a bunch of pot brownies that I had made. He was like coming in and out of consciousness. He's co-piloting. He's like passing out, waking up. And in order to stay awake on long drives, I find instead of drinking coffee and Red Bull and things like that at night, I keep a mouthful of sunflower seeds. It's kind of a trick I learned back in the early days of touring.
Baseball.
It keeps you busy. It keeps you awake. Yeah, I played baseball.
Totally.
So a mouthful of sunflower seeds kind of keeps you going. It keeps you up. It keeps your mind alert so that you're not falling asleep while you're driving. Plus, I've always got snacks within reach. I feel lost in this world if I don't have some sort of snack close by at any given moment. So it's that combination of Marley driving through San Francisco, a hazy, random morning all through the hills. He's out of his mind on a brownie. I got a mouthful of sunflower seeds and a giant Jufro. And Marley just looks over at me and goes, "You're Big Squirrel." That was it. It kind of stuck from there, and it became an industry name, and it's just kind of gone from there. So it's pretty funny, and especially with that fro. It just kind of all worked out. The whole sunflower mouthful, a cheek full of seeds and snacks in the hair. So that's where it came from. And the hardest part about tour managing is just trying to navigate everybody's needs, because I want to make sure everybody's got what they need and is happy and healthy. And that goes from the ground up, my crew, my bus drivers, the musicians, the artists, all the way to the people that run the venue, the promoters, the workers at the venue, and the fans. So I really feel an obligation to make sure that everybody's having a good time. We really want to create that environment where people can come to a safe space and enjoy themselves. And so I just want to make sure everything's working right.
And how do you handle, like, for example, let's say if the bus has a mechanical issue or if a flight gets canceled, like, how do you approach something like that?
Yeah, I kind of learned this through one of our early shows at the Santa Barbara Bowl. The Santa Barbara Bowl is an amazing venue to play music at for a ton of reasons, but the people that run that venue are pros. And I went in as a young tour manager and something was happening and I was just kind of stressed out and I was, really tightly wound. And the production manager just spoke in this really calm tone. "Hey, Colin, what can I do to help you?" And at first I was annoyed by that. I'm like, what's this guy's deal? Like, I'm freaking out over here. I need some help. We need to fix this. Whatever this problem is, let's fix it. And the guy was total Zen. So I kind of adopted that like Zen mentality. Over the years, you learn to approach those really high stress situations with calmness and an ability to the confidence in knowing that you're going to make it work no matter what. And that you got to make mistakes. I've made plenty of them. I continue to make them, but making those mistakes, you learn from them. You learn how to get through crises in a calm way. And so that's it. When a bus breaks down, you get on the phone, you call a tow truck support system, you try to figure out what you can do to fix the problem. You get a rental van, you find another trailer,
motorhome,
you get to the show, you just make a pivot. When you get an obstacle in front of you, you get around it and you do it with grace and with patience. And that really is the mantra. And I feel like no matter what comes our way, we'll be able to get through it. It's that confidence in knowing that we'll be okay. I have to put that bubble of security and safety and positivity around our whole operation. Nobody wants to see me afraid. If they look to me for confidence and calm and I'm freaked out, the whole thing crumbles. So regardless of how bad the situation is, it's pretty much my responsibility to make sure everybody thinks we're good. We're going to be fine. We're going to get through this. Everything's going to be okay.
And to babysit full-grown adult men.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm prepped for fatherhood. I know Poosh big ups to Poosh, man. I'm super stoked for you and Chloe. Congratulations. I hope that I have the fortune of having some children one day, but if not, I've been raising 12 full-grown adults that turn into children on a nightly basis. So thanks for all that training, you guys.
And ladies, Colin is single.
And I will say one of the most consistent compliments I get, like, from people that have ever dealt with our band in as far as like a live setting or an event setting, is that people always are super impressed by you and always have nothing but the utmost respect for your operation. So we love you, brother. We definitely
thank you,
appreciate
Mutual.
you. Yeah.
Very
Straight
thankful.
up.
It's an
We
honor to
love
be
you,
part of the family.
Colin.
I think everybody does a really good job. I'm proud of everybody, and let's keep going. Let's do it.
All right. Next question is, wait for it. If you had one thing in mind that you wanted us fans to remember about you, what would it be? Kason, you wanna start with this one?
Sure. I think for us, we have always concentrated on just trying to make the best songs that we can and not stick to one particular genre or type of music or, what people are going to expect. We just kind of stay true to trying to make music that we like and that we think will help people and we think will bring some positive energy to people. So I would say, just bringing a little bit of positivity to the world. And if we are able to do that, I would be very satisfied with any sort of career from here on out.
Jojo, what about you?
I'd agree with Case on that. Also, that we were at least pretty good at music and okay guys to hang out with. I don't know.
Anybody else want to add anything?
Yeah, I'll say I think there was a time kind of in our in the very beginning stages where we were really grinding and you were basically very poor and we were starting to get a little success, and there just kind of became a point where I realized that this thing of Iration was bigger than ourselves and that we kind of owed it to the fans that had supported us and been there from the beginning to kind of see this thing through to the end. And I would just say that I want fans to know that we're in it because we love music and because you guys have shown that you love what we do. So we're going to continue to do it.
For show. Fans, that's number one.
Fans. Well, those are all of our questions for today. And just remember, go ahead and text or call that number, which was 805-225-6886, so that you can get your question up here live next week. And now we're going to go to the next segment, which is called The Lineup. And it's where every single member is going to be showing their media share for the week. So this could be songs, this could be movies, this could be Netflix shows, whatever. So I'm going to start it off with something that I discovered last week. It's called Dance Church. And if you're at home and you like to, if you get bored with a regular old workout, this is something that it's very entertaining. Essentially, it's only live. You can't find it on YouTube or anything like that. It's 1 hour of like a crazy workout. They play some of the top hits in the world. And we did this yesterday. I got to do it with MB's wife, Marina. And we also did it with Maddie from the Dirty Heads, his girlfriend, Arlene. We got to do it with them. And we just put on, we FaceTimed live while doing this. And it was like a little dance party. It was super fun. And it's free. It's donation based if you want to donate. And it's actually a really hard workout. Like, I'm still sore from it. So
I lasted about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Do you need to know how to dance well to do it?
If you've ever seen me, on stage, obviously, I'm a terrible dancer, but it's once you get over the fact that no one's watching you, and B, that it's like, who cares? Just get over it and have a good time. It's actually the most fun I've had while being in quarantine, because it's like you're in a club. It's super fun. and you get a really good workout, like abs,
You're in the club.
legs, butt, everything. All the things. Adam, what do you got for us, buddy?
So I'm going to share another book. Two things that I've been just trying to do, I think, are read more while I've been home. And I've also been using the app Duolingo just to kind of improve my Spanish speaking. But so this Papillon it was a international best-selling book that became a movie with Steve McQueen and Dustin Hoffman, and then it was remade with the guy from Sons of Anarchy and the guy from the Queen movie. I didn't see the McQueen version. I did see the newer one. I will say the book was my favorite. I ended up rereading it twice. But it's basically a story about a guy in France who got wrongfully imprisoned. And in France, in the early 1900s, they had a place called Devil's Island where they would send a lot of criminals. And basically it was just like a work camp. So you were kind of removed from society and forced to work for France. And he escapes, and basically the book is him escaping from all these different places that they imprison him in. And it was just a really cool story of self-preservation and just never giving up, knowing that he didn't commit the crime, even though he was put in prison. And it's a really cool adventure story. The way he escapes is always really, really cool. So if you got a chance to catch up on some cool adventure reading, I definitely recommend it.
Case of base.
Yo. Mine was, I got inspired by Joe D last week with his surf video, so I picked this. It's called Stab in the Dark. This particular one features Mick Fanning, and the concept of this video series is they take a professional surfer and they have a bunch of shapers they give his dimensions, like his height and weight, and then the shapers shape him their best board that they can make. And he then goes in this episode to Japan and tries to surf all of them and decide which one is the best. And I liked this particular one. I won't give away any spoilers, but shout out to Channel Islands in Santa Barbara. They supply me with the surfboards that I ride because we're friends with some people over there. And let's just say that their board is one of the top boards, possibly the winner.
Fire.
And it's also the board I ride. So,
Kason, how many surfboards do you have? Actually, who has the most surfboards here? We won't talk golf clubs because Poosh isn't here, but who has the most surfboards in this room? Adam?
I'd say maybe me or Adam.
Case or me, I'd say. I know Jody's got a few too.
How many are we talking? Like 5, 10, 20?
In my field of view right now, I can see.
Can't count.
But yeah, they are like golf clubs. So it's like you kind of need different boards. And there's also a nostalgia thing, you know, when you have like a magic board or like a board that you have from the 1970s. Like one of them that I have in my living room is 1970s Unity, and it's got a psychedelic airbrush. And that's a board I don't ride, but it's just one that I want to just hang on to for nostalgia and just for surf history.
Very nice.
Let's just say Adam has more boards than I have guitars, for sure.
Adam's got 30 boards, but only rides one.
Yeah, that's about right.
That's how it
Was that
goes.
California and Hawaii? Because I'm pretty sure there's a quiver in both
So
locations.
60 boards.
Yes.
Well, it's funny because, yeah, you used to have to always keep boards in both places. Recently, some of the airline companies have finally changed their policies and are allowing you, like I know United allows you to just pay a check-in fee, the $30 or whatever it is to check in a surfboard bag, when it used to be $100, $150 per surfboard. So if you have boards you like to ride, you're basically, to bring 3 out, you could buy a brand new one. So it's good that they're finally changing some of the policies on that.
Well, we'll see how many boards you have at your next yard sale, Adam.
Yes.
All right, Colin, what do you got for us, man?
Mine is interestingly bittersweet, given the financial kind of impact of this and what it's doing to us. But personal finance is something that I don't think much of us knew or know much about, and we should. It's not the most complex thing in the world. Freakonomics is an awesome podcast. There's not a lot of wizardry when it comes to trying to take care of your finances. Like I said, obviously right now, COVID is impacting us in ways that are uncontrollable. But when everybody's back up on track, when the income is coming back in for everybody, I suggest giving this podcast a listen. There's a couple rules that fit on an index card to help maintain your financial success and stability. And it's just useful stuff. It's easy to do. A couple examples, I'll just glance over them real quick. One of them is just saving money, 10 to 20% of your gross income. If you can, just put some of that away. Make sure you pay off your credit card balance in full every month. That's a no-brainer for some, but for some, that's not something that's easy to do. So try to do that. Maxing out your retirement, if you don't have a retirement, try to get yourself one, start putting some money into it now. It's never too late to start. I wish I would have started 15 years ago. But it's never too late to start. Try to do something for your future, and you can make that move now and just do it, because it's one of those things you just need to start it and get a little bit of money into it, and then exponential growth is going to make it easier for you down the road. So that's it. It's a cool podcast. It's really well put. It's easily digestible, and I just think that it's this kind of gorilla in the corner that nobody wants to address is personal finance and how to manage money and how to save money. And it's not as hard as you think it is. So give the pod a listen, and it could hopefully do you a lot of good.
It's also a really good book too.
Yeah.
All right, and Bizzle, what you got?
I'm good there. Let me see. Mine's a book this week. It's by a guy named Gary Chapman, who he's a counselor, couples counselor, marriage counselor, and an author, bestseller. It's called The 5 Love Languages, and it's helped me out in my relationship with my wife for sure. It basically kind of makes it really easy to figure out like what makes your partner tick, and it can also relate to not just romantic relationships. I know he has ones that are geared towards kids or geared towards friends or men and women. And it basically just kind of helps you unlock, say for instance, with me and my wife, we have different love languages. And what that means is like, the way I show and receive love is going to be different than the way she does. And so figuring that out makes it a lot easier to like keep each other happy and also just maintain more of a healthy, happy relationship. I'm more of a words of affirmation guy. So like verbal confirmations and things like that, like help go a long way with me. And I'm a conversationalist, obviously I'm a songwriter. So like words are a big part of my life and the power of words. For her, she's more of she loves quality time. And so that's kind of can be a challenge for us, especially when I'm on the road. She's not getting into that quality time. So I have to make sure I'm doing as much as I can to just fulfill her love tank when I'm gone, So it's a cool book. It kind of makes it, it's like kind of like what Colin was saying about Freakonomics. It's like a no-brainer as far as financials. This one's a really simple, easy to follow kind of no-brainer breakdown of how to communicate with your spouse or your loved one and figuring out like what to do and what not to do based on their kind of personality. And it makes life a lot easier and a lot more enjoyable.
Happy wife, happy life.
Boom.
Jojo.
Okay. Am I unmuted? Yeah, I'm unmuted. All right. So I chose a quote today.
Ooh.
So my quote, are we doing quote or something? My quote is from Viktor Frankl. He's a doctor, actually, and he's a Holocaust survivor. I'm not going to read it, but basically the gist is like throughout our lives, like a number of things are going to happen to us, positive and negative. And it's not what happens to us, it's how we react to it. So, I mean, if something positive happens, like, do you let it blow your head up or do you be humble and carry on? And then if something negative, like, do you turn that into something positive? So it's just how you react to everything. that comes to you from day-to-day basis. And I think that kind of applies to today with the virus and all that stuff. So
Very,
stay positive,
very
y'all.
uplifting.
Glass half
Yeah,
full.
absolutely.
What does that have to do with Sting, by the way? Because I see a Sting covered there.
That's
Was
my
that-
song I chose.
Okay, cool. Gotcha.
You know,
So
you know,
what's the Sting song?
so,
I thought he wrote it. I was like, wow.
That's Xavier's fault. That's my fault.
I gotcha.
so
Okay.
so Sting, you know, he's a fan of it. I'm a big fan of his. His songs, I don't listen to them, but the fact that he's making them, I appreciate that.
All right. Well, so these are all of our media shares for the week. And also, if you want to listen to any of these things or find the links, you can go to the comment section below and you can find all this stuff also on irationmusic.com. Colin, since you won today's competition, do you want to go ahead and send everybody off with some wise words of wisdom?
Yes, Irators. I think that we can stick to the cliches here in these times. Treat others as you want to be treated. The old Bambi classic. If you don't have something nice to say, don't say it at all. Those are good lessons to learn, to live by right now. Be kind to others. Be kind to yourself. I think right now is an interesting time for everybody. There's a lot of introspection going down, a lot of self-help going down. So be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. And, stay away from too much social media, stay away from too much news. There's a lot of information out there. Just pick and choose what you want to look at wisely. And if the news is getting you down, you can always tune in to the Uplifter.
Oh yeah. Hey, that's 3:20 p.m. Pacific, Fridays. Be there.
We'll see you guys
420
next
somewhere.
week, y'all. See you next
420
week.
Mountain Time, y'all.
Wow.
Yeah, 8 minutes, boys. Let's go.